Hello everyone. Today I will talk about Dyson Sphere Program Early game. Now, in Dyson Sphere Program, you have this massive skill tree which you have to complete to win the game. You don't have to complete everything, but it makes things easy. Now, the way I approached it, and I think it's pretty much the fastest way. You don't lose like 20 hours on the early game. I've been in this game for 4 hours and a half, and I'm pretty much done with the early game. I'm preparing for mid game and later late game. I already have finished the game once, so I have 70, actually 90 hours of experience in this game. I almost completed the sphere, it just takes too long. And I restarted. The reason why I restarted is because I wanted to make an infinite game. So what does that mean is the resources, as you can see, have a lot. They're big. They're big as fuck. That's 40 billion. That's more than... That's why I wanted. I started on 5x resources, and that went well until they all went bankrupt, and I had to like go scavenge on another planet for no fucking reason. Why would I go on another planet to refuel my fucking base? And I can just go infinite, right? So it's trust me, it's not a pleasant stuff to like destroy, or like I don't like half of your factories because you cannot fit stuff in the tiny space. Now, let's talk about the strategy of early game and what you should do. So early on, you want to get copper and iron. That's your first start. And you want to make them plates. It's very simple. You want to make them plates, iron plates, and copper plates. Simple. Then after you make this, you want to transform the iron plates into, see what's the name of this? Gears. So you want gears. Now this is a full 360 line. As you can see here, the amount of let's see, so gathering speed, the gathering speed of the mining machine is its default to 30. Now if you have a research, the upgrades, it improves by 10%, so that's another free per way. So if you want 6 veins, as you can see here, 6 veins to produce you 180. Now I have been upgrading, so I'm a little bit above, but that's the main idea. So you want 180 and another 180 to get a full belt of MK1, let's see here, of iron, and to transform into iron plates and copper plates. Now, after you've done the gears, what you want to do is use the iron ore from here to continue feeding on the iron plates and start producing fatal belts. Now, the early game is very simple. You just, I mean, it's not really early game, it's like the beginning. You just do these small little steps, the small little researches, and you're pretty much done. Just everything before blue signs. Once you start tapping into blue signs, then you will have to make blue signs. So what happens is we will just fill up this bin, and this entire production set will just stop, and we won't consume ore from this vein over here. And we have a lot of belts. I know what I'm gonna do with them. It's gonna take a while to put them down. Now, what you want to do next is set up your, let's see, what's this called? Magnets. So you want to set up these magnets again, full 360 build. no nothing, just full 360 belt on this one. So again, 360. Now there are the times. There are the times on every component. They're here, so it takes 1.5 seconds to make one. So it's a 1-to-1 shoe, but it takes 1.5 seconds. For iron ingots, it takes 1 to 1 second. 1-to-1 and 1 second. So, oh yeah, and let's talk about speed. Okay, the speed. So the speed is, production speed is 1. If it's 1, then that means this over here it's 60 per minute. 60 to 60. For example, on assemblers, the first ones, they are 0.75. So if you, for example, do cogs, gears, you will do only 45. As you can see, a minute, there you go, 45. Even 2, it says here, it's 1-to-1 every 1 second. You will do 45, because that's the speed of the machine. Now, I do think that mid-game starts when you can mass produce this shit. Like seriously, but mid-game should start when you unlock this. Yeah, I think this is when mid-game starts. When you get to yellow. Pretty much. When you finish with all the blue and you start getting into yellow, that's, like, it's immediate. It's not very hard. Really not very. This should be your mid-game start. When you start yellow, it should take you a while to get to, and I think this should be the late game start. When you start making space warpers, that's when the game starts. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I have not used this. This is funny, but I have not used this. Really. Anyway. Now back to the early game. What you want to do is you want to fill up these beams, these storages, with all the resources you will need. Maybe. So you want a storage bin of everything, so you have a supply of it. For example, I want to make 100 wind turbines for going to Mars, some shit. And you don't have where to get the stupid magnetic coil, so you have a storage. And also, once it gets filled, I have no idea what the English terms. When this gets filled, your production can continue. So it's not like I'm using this many lines. So that's the idea. The idea here is to make 360 magnetic coils and another 360 circuit. This is very simple to do. Just need a bunch of miners. As you can see, this is the exact ratio that you need for them. So 360, 720 iron, and 360 copper, and that's all. And you can pretty much make this entire mess. Very, very simple. And once you do that, you can start making blue jelly. This is blue jelly. Okay. And again, as you can see, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, but this does every 3 seconds. So it's 20 per minute. As you can see, 20 per minute, which means 60 per minute would be, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's 360. We have 360 blue jelly per minute. Now this is okay. You're not gonna use this amount early on, but this is what you should do at the end. And now this only produces as much as is used, so you can scale up as much as you want. Now there is a reason why my base looks like this, and it's not very can I say this, very very beautiful looking, or symmetric, uh, or with the foundations on. This is how I put my foundations. You can't even see them. I put my foundations like this, and then you don't see shit. The reason is you don't really need it. I like to keep it quick. The main reason is actually you're gonna destroy everything right here. Later on, you will destroy everything right here. Like everything that you see on the screen right now will be destroyed because you will need space. And this consumes space. Now, moving on, you want to automate the call up to this point. So you don't want to make energy. You should make so you can fuel your mecha. Just take a little bit so you have in your journeys, but this is for later. So you just want to automate everything that you can automate. Now here's a little trick. You can lift up your conveyor and go through everything, above everything that we have. Very simple. Now you also want to automate the steel production, and you guessed it, the foundation. You want to have foundations if you need. For example, I have 600. Yeah, 600. I can get another 5k. So that's beautiful. Now you also want to fully automate the stone production. For example, you will need stone, and you also will need glass. So always have this storage bin everywhere you go. And I guess, yeah. Always automate stuff so you can have something, right? So when you're looking for it, you got it. Don't just look for it. And then after you manage to do this, it should be done with everything blue, and then you should require red signs. And this is when a little bit of complications go on. So start your red science where you have all. It's very simple, but yeah. So for example, here I just had this node. Where is it? There we go. This node, which produces exactly 136 oil per minute. It produced 120, but I got the upgrade, so it produces 10% more. Now, as you can see, this can fuel up to 4. Each of these eats 30 oil, so 60, 120. I can put another one, make it 5, but I don't want. I just don't care, because most of this stuff will be destroyed again. It will be destroyed after we get yellow. Let's see, did I say? Yeah, once we get this. Once we get this, and maybe this. Yeah, once we get yellow, pretty much. After you get yellow, it's pretty much destruction everywhere, and yeah, you need purple, but just like a little bit. Yeah, you need like 200 here, and 800. Do you need something here? You don't even need this. You don't even need this upgrade to make space warpers. This is crazy. So you can make space warpers before you can even touch into purple. That's quite something. This is also a very nice technology that you can get. We'll talk about that when we get to the mid game and late game stuff. But that's not in this video, so just hang on. So you want to automate the process so it never fills up. For example, this is filling up. So what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna take a bunch of this thermal. Let's see, what's the proper name? Power stations. Thermal power station. Just gonna put them on one to another. And I'm just gonna connect them Very simple stuff. There you go. Okay. Very simple. So now all of these produce 2 megawatts. 2 megawatts of power every some seconds, and they eat the refined oil. Now I made some plastic. I actually wanted to get started on, what is it, this stuff, but this is a little bit later on stuff, so it's not yet a good time to do it. So I'm just gonna burn the oil until then, so I have more power. Now my power grid is pretty much, I make 114. So if you see a coal deposit like this one, don't hesitate, take it. I have used them even on my 5X, and I never run out of coal. The reason is when you press M, your planet should have
In the planet.
a lot of coal and a lot of stone, like a lot. Even I have a lot here, but it should have a lot. More than iron or copper. And early game pretty much stops when you stop running. I mean, when you run out of, let's see, blue and red researches. That's when early game is pretty much done. That's, in my opinion, the best time to like stop thinking about early game and start preparing for mid to late game. Now you just do everything that you can here that lets you do. So for example, once I research this, I'm pretty much done. You don't need X-ray cracking. Very important. This recipe is shit. Like, I'm telling you, this is shit. Do not use this. Like, I don't care what people say, just don't use this shit. This is terrible. Like, really shit. Once you get one of these, you do not need more hydrogen. Like, once you get this technology, you do not need hydrogen. Because if you look out into the space, guess what planet? I mean, what the planet is really near you? It's a fucking gas giant. You put a bunch of these and you will get, so they multiply this by around 10 to 12. I don't remember exactly how they scale, but they do multiply like that. So this should be around 8 per second, which is a lot. That's a lot. So you're gonna make a lot of hydrogen. Okay, so you do not need hydrogen. Trust me. Just take your time with the red signs. The yellow and the yellow one, it's gonna be a little bit tough to make earlier. We're gonna talk about the mid game a little bit later. It's gonna be a little bit complicated. In the end game, you will not have a single goddamn problem making yellow signs. That's late game stuff. But mid game, it's a little bit iffy. It's gonna be complicated. And you should try to aim for 60 per minute science, but it's like, again, it's not mandatory. You can do as much as you want, as less as you want. That's how much it's gonna take. So yeah, once you've done this, what you should do from here on until this gets researched, because once you finish with all the red and blue, you need yellow. So what you're gonna do is you need one of these batteries. Now, I do recommend you do them with this, but you don't have it early on. So what I do recommend you just don't do this. Start doing this. So try getting 60 of these per minute with the normal assembly machine. And once you move past and start into the mid game, that's when mid game should start. When you start using these bad boys, and you can produce them a lot, like you can produce a lot of them. That's when you start making 60 of these per minute, and this is starting to scale a lot. Now, why I say you do this? Now, early, mid, late game, this should be, if you don't have anything to do and you make only 60 per minute, do 120, do 180, do 360 super magnetic ring. Why? It's very simple. These bad boys have no skip recipe. They don't have a how can I say this? They don't have anything to skip the recipe. For example, diamonds, instead of using energetic coal, energetic graphite, oops, they can be used like what's that? Kimberlite ore, and you can simply skip up it. It's a one-to-one ratio. You don't have to pass it into like 5 smelters. I mean, no, it's actually only two smelters to get the diamonds. It's very simple. So it actually, this is like the worst one, the Kimberlite ore. It's like shit. It's whatever. But once you get a little bit further, you will find something beautiful. Like this is hard as fuck to make. Trust me. This will take your time. We'll talk about this in mid game a lot. And how to skip it once we get into late game and other stuff. And also the graphene here, which can be made from what's this, dry ice, fire ice. It produces oxygen, so it's a really good thing. I don't think I have it actually. Solar system. Let's see. So let's see this one. Oh, I do have a lock planet. Let's see, what is it? This one. Yeah, this one was the title. But I don't have any other rare resource, so we have to scout for them later. It's not a big deal. The rare resources shouldn't be in your starting solar system. You should have some, but not a lot. So in your starting system, you only have crude oil as basic, and something else, which can be a resource or the tidal lock planet like I have. Anyway, the seed for this is 7 all the way. Very simple. 7 all the way. If you want to play on the same island, planet. And once you restart, you do like, I don't know, you should make this before going to another planet. And you should at least have this prepared. At least to 60 per minute. I know this is iffy, but 60 per minute? Okay. Once you do that 60 per minute, you can start preparing for mid-game, which implies the following. You will need this bad boy. Titanium. To make titanium crystal. Which, as you guessed it, it's on another planet. And you don't have it. You're bad. So that's your next step. So if you don't have this, if you can't expand this, I actually recommend you do only 60 per minute early on until you can change the assemblers. You might only use these assemblers till the end of game, like the Mark III one. They're a little bit like 1.5 faster than this one, so it's okay. The other ones need some heavy shit to be used, but you will need the sorter MK3 and you will need the conveyor belt MK3. This is very important stuff. We'll talk about this mid game. We do a lot of shit. Now, on the early game,
In sailing
what you
mode,
want to
you can
do
control the
is
mecha go to different planets
see.
or planetary systems by following the arrows in.
Can you just shut the fuck up? Thank you. Was this one? So this one I do have titanium. It's silver. So let's see. This is yep. First one. So I'm not gonna talk about how you can use controls. I cannot get rid of that guy. Explain it. So just like okay, buddy. I'll let that guy tell you the controls. Shit. So this is still part of early game, you do need this, but once, for example, let's see, once you get to Interstellar Logistics Station, you will start mid-game. This will start mid-game very rapidly. Like, a lot. It took me 5 hours to get here, but I was AFK like 1 hour. I just let the game go so you can research. I had to do some stuff here. If you look, and here we go. And we're just gonna go to this planet, and I will show you what happens. I mean, I show you what you need to get to. I mean, preparation for mid game, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to advise here. And what you want to do here is actually you need silicon ore and you need titanium. Now, I see a lot of stuff. Holy shit, there's a lot of shit here. Okay, so I'm also looking for space. So here's a big vein. That's a big vein. And this one's what? 23 veins? That's big. It's a 40. So let's go here. So this way. That's also good. Now this terrain here, simple. You can fill it up. No big deal. No big deal. Now how does that work? I don't even. Now where was it? Oh, it was. There we go. And there's 23 finds. And here I'm gonna talk to you about the mining machine. So on the mining machine, I have this upgrade here, which uses less ore to produce more, and it increases the mining speed. So what that does is actually it gives you +3 per vein they can connect. So for example, now this one produces 53, which is nice. So I will say I'm gonna prepare for 35. I will 36 per vein. So what that does is I need only 5 veins. I don't need 6 to get 180. So I only need 5 veins to get 180. So just there it is. And there you go. That's 360. And now I'm just gonna automate this one. Now you can do some funny things here. You can actually, depending on your planet, as you can see, wind energy ratio of 70%, that's quite low, like that. But depending on your planet, you can pretty much automate it here if you have a lot of stuff. For example, if you have this, for example, this tidal lock here, you can automate everything here. You can put a lot of solar panels here, and it will always be sun. So this planet is a late game planet. You don't. A lot of people talk about this. That's the perfect place to put your. Let's see. Where is this? Oh, there we go. This. Do you want to put the rail ejectors on this, and you don't want that? You actually don't want that. You want to put these guys on. And when you reach, no. Wait, is it not here? Where is it? It's some. I think it's one of these updates. See, I don't really know. But what you want to do in the game is you want to do that entire planet with these, and you want to extract some products from it. That's big break over there. But that's late play to make as much white science as possible. So that's a component for your late game stuff. We will talk about that when we get to late game stuff. I will show you an exact example of how to do it. I will make that entire fucking planet shit. So be prepared for that. And what you want to do here is you can either, for example, if you have enough wind turbines, you can pretty much fill up this entire planet with wind
When
turbines,
being out,
and nobody's gonna give a fuck, pretty much. So just
wind
fill it up.
turbine.
Shut
You have a step.
Like, I cannot turn him off. He's pissing me off. Every time I start the game, he just, hey, do you know that wind turbine I told you about last, I don't know, 20 hours ago? That's the coolest shit ever, man. Wanna hear it again? Glad you asked. Of course you want. So I'm just gonna pull this out as much as I can. I don't care about efficiency. I don't give a fuck how many can fit in here. I just want to finish this shit so I can do next stuff. Because most of those wind turbines, I'm not gonna move them ever. Like, I'm just using this planet to take its resources. It's pretty much, that's all I'm doing. So that's pretty much it. Now let's see how much we make. We make 12 megawatts. That's good. That's good. It's all the drones. Bunch here. Now from this planet, we will want to make. I don't think I have enough. Let's see. So making this 360 kilowatts. That's about. But I think I can make a bunch. I can make a line out of it. So let's do a line. Show it. Works. Let's just keep swing. Good. And now we have here we have a 360 line, and let's look at the recipe. So the recipe says the following: it needs 2 to 1, and it takes 30 seconds. I mean, 60 seconds to make 30. So let's do that very fast. So now you can connect them there. Very simple. And what does that tell us? It's you need.
You built a smelter, which can smelt basic material.
Okay, and you have it. Now what you can do is go to the other side and do another 5. That's 6. That's 5, and that's. You piece of shit. Okay, there we go. And you can get another 5 over here. Now, what this does, we'll do. Let's see, I think around here. So 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. Right? And now we can simply make this, and connect them. Very simple. Now let's power this baby up. Beautifully made. So let's connect every single one of these. And the output. Beautiful. Now let's put the output on the others. Just like that. And output. As you can see here. Wait. Oh yeah, it's because I'm preparing for the next one. So yeah. And now let's start our mining process. Now just paste it in. Go, and we have a 360 line. Let's paste that. So, and what we want is this good stuff to be stored. So when you come here until game, you want this to be stored inside of this bin. So that flows 360 per minute. Now I'm gonna take a lot of it. Oh, So I'm actually gonna do like 2 rounds. Forget about your consumption. Now, where was that titanium? There it is. Let's do the titanium. Now, the titanium has a different recipe, in fact, right? And it's exactly the same. Yep, exactly the same. So let's do the same thing. So let's see here. 2, 4, 5, and 5. Now, well, see if I can fit. I don't think I can. And that's 5. And that's another 5. And there we have it. Now, I'm pretty sure you can do this here. So let's see, where do we want this to be? So we can go this way actually, which is quite interesting. Now let's start going this way. Let's put some power on. And this. And now we start building stuff. Now the same simple. 3, 4, 5, 6. A line in the middle. And 6 on the other side as well. Very simple stuff. And then come with the lines. So let's do this one. And this one. So now just put and the input. And now let's paste the recipe everywhere. Have it here. There we go. Very, very simple. Now make sure it's all powered up. If you want to know how much this will consume, let's make sure everything is red. So it has the red electricity thing on. And then what you can do is you want to click on this one. So it shows you exactly how much it will demand, how much power it will want. So it will need 2 megawatts of power to work. Or let's add some more stuff. So let's connect this stuff. 3 storage pins, like 4. And now just these, and there we go. Now let's connect everything. And there we have it. Let's see it produce. Don't leave until you see it working. Trust me. Now as you can see, this is indeed 165. It will become a 180 once I tap into, see this, the upgrades on rating up utilization 2. So once this will be entirely full and I can make 360 pretty much. So as you can see, wait. Oh wait, I see what this is. So it actually, what we were seeing there was the, let's see, yeah, there we go. So that's what happened. I actually made a mistake. It's actually the standby power that it was showing us. So as you can see here, the miner has 420 work consumption, but the idle consumption is for 24 kilowatts. So yeah, it's like 20 times, 10, 20, yeah, 20 times. No. So it should be fine. I mean, why wouldn't it be, right? Actually it is. It's working 100%. No issues whatsoever. and now you just have to manually. This is still the early game process. A lot of people think, oh, I want to automate this so I don't have to carry it myself. But this is the early game stuff that you have to do. Unfortunately, you cannot get this without taking it manually from me. Unless you take it manually, you cannot get it. Fortunately, because well, actually you can, but I don't recommend. I recommend you. No, you can't. You straight up can't, because you need you need titanium to make these, and you cannot do this. So you have to do this this run here. Now, what you wanna do into the mid game is once we get to yellow, you get to this. But here you want to plant one here and connect it with and you want vessels and move it to your project automatically. That's mid game stuff. Now, this is still early game, so this is pretty much all we can do. And this pretty much summarizes everything that the early game is capable of throwing at you. Once you're done with all the science, don't research this shit. All the science, this is you should skip this one. Actually, this is funny, but you should skip this one. You should not make this one until you have this one. That's the trick. This consumes a lot of red science, and this takes a while. Or if you don't do anything, that's also awesome. Also, this one is really nice though. Really nice. So yeah, try and figure out that one out. Once it gets to late game, this is easy, but until then, as you can see, it's quite something. You have to do the motors I was talking about, and you have to do some graphing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't touch this, by the way. This is just research it, but don't use a fraction. Trust me, so just don't. That's bullshit. That's that's bullshit. Fuck that shit. Yeah, so let's see. Do I have anything else to research? Nope, just what's up here, and let's see. Anything here? Oh, doesn't look. Yes. This is all yellow stuff, so I'm almost ready to finish the early game. And what I will do now, I will fill up my stuff. I will actually do a trick. So I'll duplicate this, and I'm gonna make 2 of these. Why? It's very simple. So these you can actually charge your mega with the excess power. It can only charge up to 4.8 megawatts of power, but that's pretty much what you do. So you put this here, and for example, let's say
built a wireless power tower, which
okay, it's gonna explain exactly everything. So now I'm using power, and let's say as you can see, I'm charging really fast, and as you can see here, it's a little bit. There we go. It's charging at 4.8 megawatts per second, so it's really fast charging. I recommend you have one of these or 2 of these with you. I also recommend you have wind turbines anywhere you go, just in case. Okay, just in case. You never know. You never know. All right. That's pretty much summarizes everything about early game. I will see you guys in a mid game later on. We'll talk about what to do there and how to do it simple, so you don't have to waste 50, 60, 70 hours. But yeah, my pro tip for you is start with infinite resources. Trust me. This game is meant to go infinite. To make the Dyson Sphere, you will not have enough resources. You will have to find a lot of resources from the other planets, the solar systems, and that's a really pain in the ass. But yeah. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. And well, see you later.